My other question is to you, Chairman. There is a significant amount of speculation about private equity companies circling Qantas. And I guess you're a bit of an expert on private equity, being an advisor to Kohlberg, Kravis, Roberts and Co., the American-based global private equity firm, who, as you know, often sweeps on companies who have share prices that are low and which undervalue the assets. My question is to you. How can shareholders and staff be assured that where there is not smoke, there is not fire? And, Chairman, what I'd ask you is, given how we know private equity operates and given your intimate knowledge of it through your advisory role, don't you feel a bit conflicted being on this board with such a low share price through your reign with the potential of another private equity swoop?
Madam, thank you for your question. Let me just say, your comment about smoke and what have you, and I've seen odd comments in the press, we are not aware of any consortium that is contemplating a private equity bid. We have not been approached, and lots of things are in the newspaper and talk and what have you. I suppose people lament the share price of Qantas, and that's something we intend to do something about, as we've said earlier. As regards my role at KKR, what it does bring me is familiarity with the cost of debt at the moment, and many of you around this room would remember something. I wasn't here in the country, but there was a private equity approach some years ago. Had that transpired, I think it would have been terrible for the customers, terrible for the employees, and probably a lot worse for the investors. But I'm not aware of anything of that nature, and I'd have to say that the price of debt at the moment in the private equity would make anything of that, to be honest, a bit fanciful.
Mr. Joyce, there's been a proposition put to me that in the light of the 71% decrease in the share value, approximately 71% over the last since 2007, the absence of a dividend for 2 years, and the remarkable patience and the remarkable vote of 96% in respect to your remuneration in the light of, a deterioration in the market value of the company, no dividend, that actually, have you had any discussions with anyone, shareholders, large or small, about the potential break-up of the company, sell off the profitable bets and take it out of the market in a private equity way?
No, I have not. And absolutely, Senator, I will say categorically, my belief is that the Qantas group is strongest if we can keep the group together. That's why we are so worried about this proposed Qantas Sale Act amendments, because it would force us to break up the group. It would force us to actually sell those component parts of this airline, and it would take us down that path that would leave Qantas more exposed, because Jetstar would have to go, our ventures in Asia would have to go, and it would stop us turning the business around. So can I say in terms of the share price, we are in a cyclical industry. We are in a company that actually does go with the cycle, and if you look at airlines around the world, actually Qantas has outperformed them. Because Qantas is the only airline in the world with an investment-grade credit rating. Qantas is the only airline in the world that actually had profits during the global financial crisis, consistently now, and going all the way back to, I think, 95. We've had profits. And you take the share price of some of the other airlines. Air France is 1/3 of what it was a year ago. Cathay Pacific, with the benefits of China, is 1/2 of what it was a year ago. British Airways is more than 1/2 of what it was. So Qantas is like all other airlines around the world. Our share price is disappointing, but it's a cyclical business. It's a business that responds to the cycle, and it's a business that gets hit by the cycle like every other airline.
Let me go to Qantas. A huge restructuring recently announced by Alan Joyce, who made a big thing about it being very, very good for tourism in Australia. Is he right?
Well, first of all, let me say something first, is that I've been out of Qantas for about 3 years, and I've never spoken about Qantas, and I really do not intend to talk about Qantas. I think when you move on, you do move on. I will say I think Alan and the board are doing a good job.
You said you're reluctant to talk about Qantas, but I've got to ask you about this private equity bid, because there's been just some discreet buying on the market. We know you guys have been outed last week in the media. Many of the same crew of the old APA syndicate, yourself, Mark Carnegie, David Coe. The share price is at a low. What are you waiting for?
Well, can I say, I'll repeat, that I don't discuss Qantas issues, but I will say we have an investment company, which includes Mark and a few other people, and I will say that investment company has not bought one share in Qantas.
So far? Yeah. Will you come back and talk to us about it if such a thing does happen?
I will come back and talk to you about anything you like.
Jeff Dixon, it's a delight to have you here. Thank you very much for joining the program.
Thank you very much, Dickie.